Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day as per usual, and let's get right into it on today's Monday's, price action. Start off the week with a bang as the SPY opens up with a 79 basis point gain today. The triple Q's up 1.02% and the IWM up almost 1.75%. So overall, a very, very nice day in the S&P 500 in all sectors across, except for maybe, I think, natural gas opened down 20% on the nat gas futures. And the other nat gas indices didn't do too well either. I mean, they were down, but not that much. But let's move on and we'll take a look at we'll actually start off with the IWM today. So like I said in my previous videos, it looks like we've finished the wave 4 here, and now we are starting the final wave 5 into a pump into this massive resistance area that I have outlined, which should depict the top of the IWM. So yeah, right now it looks like we've essentially finished the wave 2 of the final wave 5, and I'll illustrate that right here for you guys. So this right here should be coming up in a 3, 4, and a 5. Extend the fifth wave a little bit higher, probably 220, something like that, and then the IWM should be finished after that, and then we'll see. we'll take it from there. After we'll look for a market top or a potential top in a B wave, and then a retrace will come on later, and things will definitely unravel, but we will have time to get out of the market. And then we'll take a look at the SPY. So SPY extending the fifth wave here, and if you guys can't see it clearly, I can go on the smaller time frames to show you guys that we're in this 1-2-1-2 pattern, and right now it's either a 1-2-1-2, or this was the 1-2, and now we're going straight into a 3. Moon City, just shoot up straight into the 500 area, which is looking, it's still possible. We have a lot of earnings coming out this week. We just had SOFI today. Then we have Pfizer, UPS, GM tomorrow morning. Then Microsoft after the close, AMD, Google, Starbucks, right? Which is going to be interesting because we have an analysis going on that right now. Then we have Boeing, MasterCard. We have Thermo Fisher. We also have Qualcomm on Wednesday after the close. Let me see here what else we got. On Thursday morning, we have Peloton, Merck's. Those are going to be interesting to see. Royal Caribbean Cruise, Royal Caribbean Group, which is, the cruise lines. And then on Thursday after the close, we have Apple, Amazon, Meta, and that's about it. United States Steel Corporation. Those are not as big, but still important. And then on Friday, we have Exxon and Chevron. So big earnings week this week. We are starting it off well with SOFI. We'll actually cover SOFI tonight in just a little bit, but let's continue the analysis here. I did a little bit of a recap. So if we are in this final count in wave 1, and then this was your 1-2, 3, 4, and then now you're finishing up in the fifth wave. Once you erase divergence, that's probably when you're going to finish up the count. So once we cross over this line, that's most likely when the fifth wave should finish at any moment. Okay, so that's basically it. Don't really have much to add from there. Very, very simple, basic to understand. So I'll just delete that. And the IWM, I can keep that there for now. Actually, we'll make it an intermediate count instead. And this is the primary count. Again, I don't really change these that much, to be honest. I usually just go with whatever I got on hand because I got to do quick analysis. But let's take a look at the S&P right now on the daily time frame. So we were looking for a potential top, and it looks like it wants to extend a little bit further. So this is why, shorting the markets right here, right now, all the time is usually not the way to go. And it can actually, the momentum waves can technically continue on, and they don't have to end right away. So they can do something like this, right? Which is usually it can be scary for being short and playing on the short side at the moment, especially in such a strong bullish phase, euphoric phase. You even have CNBC upset. They are looking for a pullback. They want to be buying the dip, but right now the markets are just pumping, short squeezing, and looking at right here, wave edge very quickly on the daily time frame. No new signals, I believe. Nothing on the 2-day, nothing on the 3-day, nothing on the 4-day, nothing on the weekly. Right, and we're going to be closing the month off in a couple of days here. 2 more trading days, and that should be it. And then we'll start up the month of February. And then looking here at some individual names. So let's actually take a look at the individual names. Everyone loves to look at individual names because everyone's got positions in different stocks. So let's get over there and let's take a look at it. So let's start off with Starbucks because they are actually going to have earnings soon. So Starbucks up about 1% today, again holding the buy area. And if we look at the 4-hour time frame, I don't know if you guys remember, but I did do some analysis regarding the RSI a couple of weeks ago, if not a week ago, and I said that once we are getting into this oversold condition, we start to form bullish divergence, and you can see we broke out of this downsloping trend line on the RSI. We came back down and retested a support, and that was your moment to probably start to enter a long position, because after that the RSI started taking off, and now the price is starting to take off as well. Now earnings can change everything, right? Earnings can either propel this thing higher, or it can just ruin the entire count and mean that this was a 1-2 and we're going to go much lower. But going with Elliott wave, knowing what Elliott wave should do, we should go higher with earnings as well. So this should be a good earnings, if anything, right? And we'll take a look at SOFI, right? Because we were doing analysis on SOFI, and for SOFI, I actually had a target down here at $6.25. If SOFI did have bad earnings, I would buy the dip here, but it looks like it truncated and ended early, and now you're starting the entire the whole new cycle, the third wave. And I would actually say that this is a 3 of 3 move, because now this was your 1-2 count, right? And now you're going back in a 3, 4, and a 5. So this should continue up, pushing up higher, which means the Nasdaq, the S&P, the Russell, the Dow should all keep pumping up like crazy right now. So far so good. That's the count for SOFI. Things are looking good. Let's take a look at ROKU. ROKU, beautiful move today, up 4%. Looks like the wave 2 might have ended right here, which means it's a very small wave 2, and this is going to start and take off into a wave 3, which is a very, very bullish count. You could assume that we might even retest this area around 110, which would be a 20% move on ROKU. But we don't have earnings for them until late February or mid-February. But still, overall, things are looking good for ROKU. Now, what you want is confirmation that this is a real move. So probably a break above this trend line here is going to initiate a very big pump and a lot of stop losses being triggered. So this is what I'm looking for on ROKU if this is going to play out. Also looking at the count here, it's also possible that we could go lower right here, right? Retrace back down a little bit more, because this could technically be, let's see here, an ABC, something like that. Because on wave 2s, you have ABCs inside of wave 2s. So it could technically do something like that, right? So anything is possible. But looking at the market conditions, this should have ended here, and you should be rallying up. If not, this was the wave 1 here, and then you did an A, B, and an overshooting B wave. But I actually don't like that. But we'll take it day by day. And right now the bullish count should be playing out for ROKU. All right, let's move on. Let's take a look here at a few more names. Let's take a look at, I don't want to take a look at Lucid, but I just want to see what Lucid did today, up 27%. Holy smokes, what was the news? The massive move in Lucid stock. What happened? Best day in about a year. It's not clearly why. Yeah, no one seems to know why. But it's been beaten up for a long time. And looking at Tesla, I actually want to take a look at Tesla. So Tesla, I have us going a little bit lower before we come out into this extension higher. But the thing is that this can technically take off at any moment. We are extremely oversold. If the market's going to get extremely bullish, they're going to buy up Tesla like it's no one's business. You're going to see people who panic sold here are going to panic buy back here. And then you're just going to cause a big short squeeze because people who probably panic sold here got angry with Tesla and started shorting it, probably due to fears of like previous sell-offs. But just looking at the RSI right now, I did like entering some longs down here, and that's so far so good. But we need to see follow through. And we'll take a look at our count right now on our C leg down, because it may not be done. And we want to stay level-headed. So right now, looking at the, let me just come back down here, a 5-wave count. So 1, 2, 3, obviously, and then now we're in a 4, and then a 5, right? But how far is this 4 going to extend? A wave 4 can extend as high as, as long as it's below the bottom of the wave 1. Your wave 4 is valid. So technically, Tesla could rally back up to 230 and then come all the way back down to 164, right? Or 170, right around that area. But the chances of it doing that would be pretty low. If it starts to impulse out and rally out here, then that means that the wave 3 ended here. We had a wave 4 cycle break, and then UE ended the 5th wave here. And then now you're starting an entire new cycle up. And you got to go with the count. You got to go with the count is telling you. And this would be the count for Tesla, if that's the case. Okay, so that's what you want to look for. Right now, it is starting to impulse a little bit. We'll know more once we break above this previous high of 192 and 89 cents. And if that comes out of it, then we're gonna do pretty darn well. Okay, so for just for analysis sake, I'll put the wave 3 here, the wave 4 here, and then I'll put the wave 5 down here. Okay, but overall bullish on Tesla. I mean, bearish in the short term, but bullish in the long term. So let's keep going. Let's take a look finally at one more name. I think someone had a request on the channel. I cannot find it right now, but I believe it was something regarding the TMF or TLT. So TMF is just like TLT, and we've did analysis on this for quite a bit of time in the last couple of days, trading sessions. We were talking about TMF and TLT. 4 hour, lots of buying signals here. Accumulation, big money, smart money buying at $95, which means yields should extend higher here, like this. ABC. So you should keep going up like that. A corrective wave after this big, 5-wave move down. And after that, once you get back to like these levels here, or however far the C leg wants to extend, then you'll have a bottom in the yields, and that will trigger, potentially the Fed to start to raise rates again. If I don't know what the catalyst will be, but probably be because inflation is coming back, and then the yields will start to go up dramatically again, which will mean the TLT is going much lower. But yeah, right now, looking at the daily time frame on the TLT and TMF, same thing. It's just that TMF is a 3 times leverage 20-year treasury bond. Looking bullish, looking very good. It's coming out of it right now. You have a cycle break. It's beginning its cycle up. So I would like to be long the TLT right now, if anything. Yeah. It was just chopping up traders here for a long period of time. It didn't know what it wanted to do, and now it's coming out of it because the news must be getting pretty good for the TLT to do that. All right, let's wrap it up. Let's finish off with natural gas and oil and gold and silver and probably the dollar. So right now, nat gas unfortunately had a pretty decent down day once again, down about 6%. The Widowmaker has returned, and on the nat gas futures, the nat gas futures were down 20% with a massive gap down below here. So again, this is a contract rollover. Natural gas fell by an extreme amount after that. Plummets on warm US temperatures and possible build in nat gas supplies, right? And if we take a look at the Forex calendar here on Thursday, that's when we get the nat gas inventory report. They're expecting, let me see here, 10:30 natural gas storage. They're expecting actually a withdrawal of 326 billion cubic meters or cubic units of nat gas, which is actually a huge amount, which is technically very bullish because they're using too much, and the supply is still being. There's actually a lot of negative fundamental things going on in the, or sorry, bullish fundamental things because the suppliers are closing down the rigs, which causes the supply to go down, demand is still there, and then price goes up naturally. All right, but yeah, overall, I'm still very bullish on nat gas long term. This is just unfortunate that the futures collapsed down so much, and we'll take it day by day. But let's move on. Let's take a look at oil. So oil getting rejected here, starting to come back down. There is an alternate count for oil to go lower, but we'll revisit that count if we do start to break down, because I do have it mapped out on a different chart, but I'm not going to show it just yet. So if we're following the bullish count, we should come out of this wave 3 here, which I really don't like so much because it doesn't look that impulsive, but for now it seems to be okay. If we are following it on the bullish count, then you should be doing something like that, right? And then a 3, and then a 1, and then so on and so forth. Okay, that's basically it. Let's take a look at gold and silver. So gold and silver didn't do much here. There's still a downsloping trend line on gold. Hasn't broken anything, I don't think. So you just got to be patient with this one and wait for gold and silver to either make a big move or, you try to catch a falling knife when it pulls back. But gold and silver seems to be pretty boring right now. Not too much happening. Silver is probably, in my opinion, the best trade. If you're looking for a trade right now, you just got to be in one. Silver is probably the best one, and it is starting to take off already. Looking at the dollar had an attempt to break above the 200-day moving average today, and it was off to the races, and then it just fell all the way back down here. So right now, I don't think the dollar has so much strength to try and break out and keep forming bearish divergence. So if anything, it should come back down in a C leg, which means the markets should continue to melt up because a weaker dollar is good for equity. So all things are right now pointing to a bullish rally in equities, and the same thing for precious metals if the dollar goes down. But at one point, do not get me wrong, I am probably the biggest bear out there. It will come to an end, and it will come to an end in a very dramatic fashion. I'm not saying it's going to be a crash, but it's going to be an awakening, and a lot of people are going to be caught on the wrong side of the trade, holding long-term positions near market highs on stocks that are worth next to nothing or should be bankrupt, if anything. And then after that, you will come back down. And then this will open up a huge opportunity for us to buy into the market, right? But don't panic just yet. The markets don't go down in a straight line, right? They will give you an opportunity to get out. You'll come back down in a 1, 2, and you'll come back up. This 2 is the one that you want to pay attention to, because if this comes back up and gives you an opportunity to get out, take it. Don't be greedy, because after this, the next drop that we're going to get from the 510 to 540 area, that's gonna panic a lot of people, and they're gonna panic sell. But once they see the big bounce that's gonna come from it, it's gonna be like, God, I gotta get back in. The market's taking off without me. It's just another one of these drops. I gotta get back in, and you know, I can't miss this move. And then that's when the market rug pulls, and then you go all the way down, right? And you take out this pivot at the October lows here at 355. SPY will probably get to 320, maybe like the low 300s, high 200s, 290, right? If it's really that bad, but then they'll print money or they'll do something, right? And then the markets will go to new all-time highs, and you'll go to SPY 1000 down the road. But at that point, you know, money's worthless, and you want to hold commodities. And anyways, I'm not gonna get into that right now. We are so far away from it. At least I think we are, and we'll just go with what we have in front of us. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.